Hi painting friends and happy Thanksgiving. My name is Stoof and today we're going to make this painting right here. This is a festive Thanksgiving inspired painting of a turkey. We're using acrylic paints and this tutorial will be in real time, so I will let you know what colors I'm using as we're creating this painting together. So sit back, grab your paints. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my painting videos I post every Thursday. Next, let's get into our paints and get started with this tutorial. We're going to use acrylic paints. I have my soft body Liquitex professional acrylic paints, but you are welcome to use any type of acrylic paint that works best for you. So the colors we're using today are yellow oxide. You also could use a yellow ochre. We also have cadmium free, yellow medium. We have yellow medium azo. We have light blue violet. We have light portrait pink, cadmium free red light, burnt sienna, burnt umber, Mars black, sap green, titanium white, and ultramarine blue. We also have a cup of water to rinse off our brushes, and we have some paint brushes here. We have a few medium flat tipped brushes. We have a round tipped brush here for blending and for working some of the background colors in, and then two liner brushes for getting more of those smaller details on the turkey feathers. I also have some paper towels for when I make a little mess and to clean off my brushes, and I'm working on a 9" by 12" canvas panel right here. Nice and thin little canvas panel. Let's get started on this tutorial. Alright, we are going to start by sketching in the turkey, and then we're gonna, once we get that sketch, like the basic outline of the turkey, we'll fill in the colors with the background, and then we'll fill in the turkey. So I'm just gonna dip this brush in the water, and we'll start with some burnt umber for this one. Could use any color. Usually I use black or brown. Just thin that down really well, and then we're gonna start to sketch out the turkey. So think about where you want to put your turkey on the canvas. I want my turkey to take up most of the canvas, and I don't I'm debating in my mind if I want him to be center or if I want him to be off center. I think I'm going to put him off center and then put a little more of the landscape in the background. So we're going to start with just the shape of the turkey's body, which is very interesting. So let's start with the turkey, like the main part of the body is it's a very unique animal. So we'll use that for like the basic shape there, so it's like a loaf of bread almost, with a little bump on this side here for the breast of the turkey. And then we're going to add a little head there. So the turkey's got a head, just like a little bump sticking out. His little beak will come down there too. And then he's got some wing coming off of this basic shape. So it's down in this corner here. Add some wing, kind of goes back like that. Almost looks like a fish. And there we are. Now we've got that wing there, which is also very strangely shaped. Legs sticking down here. And then we've got the fan part of the turkey, which kind of just goes like a fan over this side, like this, and then comes down. We've got another row of the fan feathers there. So there's your basic turkey shape, which I did that pretty quickly, but hopefully you could pick up on that. Basically, it's like you make that loaf of bread shape or like a slice of bread, add the little oval here for the head, add a nice little shape for the wing in the bottom corner, put these two little stick legs, little wing's gonna be behind the leg, and then we have a fan that comes from the back there. Make sure this part of the fan isn't crossing the head. You don't want the fan starting down here or it's just gonna be too big. And this bottom part of the fan kind of comes in right at the point where this wing meets the body. So those two lines kind of come together there as well. So hopefully that helps you get the shape of your turkey and your proportions. Now let's just work on the background a little bit. I'm just going to put a nice little hillside here, and we'll add like a tree there. And we'll just add like some more little grasses or a bush or something back there. And we'll keep this like grassy there. Alright, so we've got the basic shapes down. Now we're ready to fill in the background. Alright, so we'll start with some burnt sienna and some white and some yellow oxide, a little bit of our cadmium-free red light and our cadmium yellow medium. And we're just gonna start by filling this in, all the space back here. Just go right up to the turkey body outline. You can cover it up a little bit if you want. Just fill in all that space.
Alright, now you take burnt sienna with some ultramarine blue and a little cadmium red, and we're just going to put some little brush in the bottom here, just kind of like quickly make the brush work in different directions. This is my medium round tipped brush, but a flat tip brush would work well here too. Just kind of make some shapes kind of coming up there. Can start to add some greens, so we'll take some sap green with our yellow azo, some cadmium yellow and white. Just start to add like a couple little leaves back here. It's just like a really warm autumn scene, like maybe it's sunrise or sunset time. Then we're going to take more of our sap green and burnt umber and start to include that farther down in the background. You just want to keep building up the darkness down here. Okay, and then for this part, let's do some more sap green, yellow, white, and just fill that in. Let's go right up to the outline of the turkey again. Again, just cover up all the space, all the white space. Okay. Alright, now we're going to switch to this medium flat tip brush, and we're going to take some burnt umber with white. Put that here for our tree. More burnt umber. Take some of the extra paint off of my brush. Let that blend in. Okay. I'm just gonna blur a couple of these little leaves that I've made in the background, just to make the background look like it's out of focus and our turkey is in focus. Just softening all these lines makes it look out of focus. Okay, so we've got a quick background filled in there. Now we can work on the base color for the turkey. So we're just going to start with some burnt umber and burnt sienna. More burnt umber. And just make this whole back fan part covered. Try to keep that fan shape. Take some black, mix it in with our brown and white combo there, so just so it's not pure black that we're working with. I'm going to touch this up a little there too. Here we go. Then we'll get the shape in there. That just goes right to the back of the turkey's head. And then we can add some more white, a little ultramarine blue. And right behind the turkey's head we have this kind of gray blue section that continues down to the chest of the turkey. And then we're just going to take some black and kind of transition that to the black. Get a nice blend, so your paint's still wet and you're just blending them together and getting that nice smooth transition. There's also some black right there. Here. And let's take some umber. This section right here. And then pat the brush down a bit and some gray for this part. The wing, and let's take some black for this part of the wing. And we're not painting each individual feather yet, we're just working on the basic shape. That goes right in there. And we've got black on this part as well, because this is the wing that's behind the turkey on the other side. And we'll get his legs in there at some point, but not quite yet. Taking some brown for this little section right here. And we need to get the head. So I'm taking the smaller flat tipped brush for the head, and I'm using, let's start with the red. We have some cadmium red light for this part of the turkey, and this part on the back of the head. And I'm just gonna rinse that off, pat that down a little bit. Touch that up there. And we're going to take some of our light blue violet and ultramarine blue and put that here for the turkey's neck and head. Those lines to connect. And we'll take more of that violet with white. That right there, and then just some white. Wow, you still have violet on the blue violet on the brush. And get this part of the head. And then we've got the beak, which is like yellow with a little bit of sienna and white. It's pretty light still. And that's basically the turkey's base color. So we let this layer dry and then we can start to add some details to the turkey next. Let's take our liner brush, which is this little guy, and take some umber and just make like some quick little brush strokes like we have. You can mix a little black in there too. Like we have some little sticks or shrubs kind of sticking up. Things like kind of starting to come into focus as we get closer to the turkey. Then you could take some of your yellow oxide with white. Put a couple little lighter ones in front. And start to make them kind of coming off of the grassy section here. Alright, and let's take our yellow with that sap green and white, and we'll just add a couple more bright little branches or leaves. And we can even make some more orange and yellow. Get the fall colors in there. And I kind of want to add a couple more little background trees in here. Just going to take some umber. Ah! Scared myself. Some sienna and white. Just start to, oops, it's a little, needs more brown. Just start to add a couple more little lines back in here. Can mix a little bit of blue in there too. I think it just reads a little more like a forest when you have a few more trees visible Even if they're like in the back and out of focus, it still just gives a little more. And we can add some highlights to this tree here. Take some oxide whites at flesh color. Just kind of start to make some lines to kind of look like tree bark using our liner brush. Can do that on a couple of these other little ones too. And then we'll take some sienna with okay, umber, sienna, and some of our blue. And start to add some shadows right around there too. And you guys don't have to make the background this detailed or have this much going on. I'm just waiting for that paint to dry where the turkey is, so I figured I'd get a little more done with the background. Take a little black and umber and sap green, darken up some of the shadows in here. All right, looking good. Let's do a little more with the grasses. Take some of that yellow and sap green and sienna. Dipping it in the water just to thin it down a little, since I'm making a lot of really quick little fine brush strokes with the liner brush here. And I'm just getting kind of thicker and a little bit less detailed as we're moving closer to the foreground here. I'm going to start to include more sienna and yellow. Just kind of starting to look like there's some dirt or some leaves there or something. Give a little variety. And we can always add some highlights with the grass too. A little yellow, white, and that green. Take some more umber. Still just working my way around the turkey, adding some more little shadows and highlights to the grasses. We can switch back to that medium flat tipped brush now. Take our sap green, white, yellow. Start to add a few more grasses. This brush is kind of frayed, so it's working to my advantage here, making it look like we have bristles of grass. Just adding more yellows and whites as we're moving closer. And we'll just take some sienna and brown. Act like we've got a little bit of a pathway here. The turkey's walking on some dirt. Brown and sienna mixed together, gets close to umber. color. Okay, taking some more of the grass color. Start to add some more grass in there. And we need a little shadow under the turkey, so I'm taking some of my black and my sap green and just kind of darkening the area right below the turkey there. Put that brush back, and we'll come back to our liner brush, add a couple more little highlights in here, and just take that liner brush and start to make a couple more little brush stroke marks like this. That'll create the look of more grass and make it look really detailed. Can put some grass in front of the turkey's wing there. Add some more yellow, red, and white, and we can just add a couple more little leaves that are down on the ground here. And they don't have to have any particular shape because, you know, crumbled leaves look all different. Just make sure they're kind of getting smaller as they're getting farther back. We'll take some more brown, add some little shadows under the leaves, make it look like we have more leaves over here. Green with our sienna. Just make sure you cover up some of your leaves with the grass. You don't want your leaves to all be kind of like hovering over the grass or anything like that. Alright, now we're just taking some black. I'm going to put a little dot there for the turkey's eyeball. Taking some brown and black, and we can outline the turkey's beak. He's got like a little crease in the beak there. Kind of just comes right up to his eyes. And then the turkey's got these little bumps on his head. And it's got these red things on his chest. A couple more little bumpy ridges there. Looks good. All right, we can just take some black now, and we can we have like a line just under, not touching the border of the back of the fan, but like kind of just below it. You want to leave some of that brown still. And then once you get that painted in like that, with just taking the brush this way, now you can ruffle up that section with your liner brush to make it look more like real feathers. Go back to your sienna and white. And you can put a little black in there too to cool that down. And then we can just start to add more lines that make it look like we have individual feathers here. Just quickly adding these little ridges for each feather. And they get a little darker over here. Alright, good. Then we can take some white mixed with our sienna and a little black. Let's take a little yellow in there too. And a little red, just to warm it up. And this is going to be our lines for each feather. So everywhere you put these little ridges in the back is the tip of each feather. So you kind of want to use that line where it comes down to see where your feather's gonna have this little separation line. There it is. And then we'll use this, add a little more red and sienna and yellow. And we can add another little line there. Where, so we have the black line and then we have this like sienna, yellow, brown line there. And again, once you get that line sketched out, just go ahead and make it have little ridges for each individual feather. And then we can take that same color and we have even more right here. And make sure you keep about equal distance between the two lines for all of these. So you don't really see this go all the way over here, but we did keep it nice and consistent between these two lines. All right, that's good. Do need a little more umber. So I can take that umber, and now we can just like fill in between those little lines just to thicken that up. Same thing here. You can even put like a little line, kind of separating them a little bit there. Looking good. All right, now this section is mostly black. We'll just go over that with some black again. Just to touch up those little marks. And we do have a couple little of violet with white. And we'll take a little black too to cool that down, make it not so bright. And just start to add these little lines where these little feathers go. And I'll take a little more brown in there. Take some umber, start to kind of incorporate that. And some black. Do a couple more little ridges of just black. And then we could take some just umber and do the same thing here, but with just the umber. And I'm going to take a little black here too, separate that again. All right, looking good. Now let's bring that black down to here. And we've got more of that blue color. Let's take even more violet and put that here. Let's make some ultramarine in there too, actually. That just comes right up to this part. And we've got a little bit here too, where that gray meets up with the part of the wing and a little bit right there. You can take some black and just outline this part of the wing with your black. Feather lines and a couple little diagonal or perpendicular lines there for the feathers. Also have some black right here. And there. And right here it's pretty dark. All right, we got some of this yellow oxide color with some white. Kind of coming in here. It's coming in with those little shapes again, not like fully blocking in that color, but keeping those little feather marks. And then we take some sienna and put some of that in here too. Just kind of keeping those little feather marks, not totally covering the body. We've got black line right here behind the neck, and these little black lines that keep those feather marks going there. We've got more of the blue right here. Let's take more ultramarine blue this time. Just keep those feather marks going. And we also have some black right here. Let's outline this part with the black. The turkey's breast there. It's kind of dark right here as well. He's got like a weird thing coming off here, feather. And then we've got more of that yellow, which turns into our sienna. And then into the blue, and then to the black. And then here we've got more of that blue. Take more ultramarine there. Kind of blend it a little. And continue that here. It'll turn into that lighter color. Let's mix a little black in there. There we go. Now we got our yellow oxide and white color. A little more white on this one. And that turns into our sienna. Comes right down here. So each of these sections of feathers has this blue, the sienna, and this yellow, and black kind of ties it all in together. So we've got these black marks for the feathers. They're just like little, almost like scale shapes, but it's feathers. That there, it's really dark black down the base of the turkey. Get somewhere that yellow color here. Some black. And some sienna mixed with our white. It's looking good. And then we've got some whites with our our light blue violet. And that's going right over here. I'll just use this to start to make our feathers. So the feathers kind of make a fan, the shape of the feathers. Just to get some lines in there first so you can kind of see how they're working. And then you can add your little perpendicular lines on each feather. All right, and then we've got them on this side too, but we're gonna add a little bit of black and more of that blue because it's on the shadowy side, so things are gonna be a little darker. Just fill in that shape there, and then do the same thing, make those little perpendicular marks. Good, and now the turkey's got to have some legs. So just mix some sienna with black, and we'll put one leg right there, and one leg right there. And we'll kind of put some grass in front of that too, so you can't totally tell. Mix a little bit of the flesh tint with our sienna for that part of the leg. And then we'll take a little bit of our grass highlight color and cover up the feet, because I don't feel like painting turkey feet.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this painting tutorial. Now let's go eat lots of food. I know I'm gonna eat lots of mashed potatoes and gravy because that is my favorite, and then I'm probably gonna go pass out on the couch. So have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend some time, whether it's virtually or in person, with the people that you care about, and hope you have a great day and happy painting. Bye-bye.